All right, I'm back. Same day, 2 hours later, something like that. I'm still having my coffee. Let's see. Uh, Same day, different story. I used some tokens, as you can see, actually, and I'm going to tell you what I've done and why I've done it. After the last video, of course, I tried to log in just to see if it works, and then I wanted to show how I was thinking to have a round trip and show you how the web page looks. So sign up is wrong here because it should be sign in. We should have both sign up and sign in or something like that. What's it doing now? It takes some time to start. This is some kind of loading time. Yeah, there you go. So if I try and sign in, we'll get an error. Before it said invalid email or password. I went into the text to find this text, and I added pass afterwards if it was password error. So I know it's the password that is wrong. However, the password is actually correct. I've double checked it. I deleted the account and I created again. So I've had a little chat here with Bolt. When I sign in, it tells me I have the wrong password, but I do not. I have double checked it. Could something be wrong in the unhashing when checking if the password is correct during the login process? So I know I entered the same password twice because I used the same password. I deleted the account. I used the same password again. Same problem. The reason I deleted the account is that I don't want anything to be left from earlier and it has changed something. So I know it's how the code works now. It doesn't work. It's not some kind of before or after issue, if that makes sense. So then it's doing a little bit of hallucination and saying it's before and after, which I already tested for because I knew that was going to happen. I didn't tell it though. So it's telling me it's something with a hash, maybe some long plan. I don't like this plan, so I'm telling it, please note that I deleted the user and recreated it and still have the issue, meaning this is not an old user that got this issue. It's a brand new with entire existing logistics. And then it's going through and checking, and then it got this really, really long way to test things. Okay. So I want to bring you in on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I used like 100,000 tokens or something like that. But what it wants to do is, given that this happens with a brand new user, the issue is definitely in the current code base. This is most likely, the most likely culprits are password string being modified during form submission or API processing, base64 encoding, decoding issues causing data corruption, buffer slicing, extracting wrong byte range, database column encoding issues, diagnostic logging. So it's setting up some serious logging here. I'm wondering if this logging can be a security issue if it doesn't clean it up afterwards, because it's going to store the password before and after hashing and doing some weird things. Let me show you here. Yeah, so here. So enhanced sign-in logging. So this is going to have to be like turned off later, right? I need to be careful with what I'm doing now, it feels like, because it's going to store the passwords in plain text. But we'll go ahead and do it anyway. Now we've seen what it's doing. Okay, so I'm not in the plan mode. Okay, go ahead with this plan. Make sure that this will be easy to, that it will be easy to turn off this logging, as it will be a, how do you spell vulnerability? Vulnerability? I have no idea. Vulnerability. How do I spell that? Jesus. It's too bad. Vulnerability, of course. Vulnerability. Sometimes my brain is just gone. Vulnerability. It would be a vulnerability. It will be easy to turn off this logging, as it will be a vulnerability storing passwords in plain text. I would like a new table in the database handling. Okay, so I have a plan here. I want to have a flag in the table saying it's in development or in production. If it's in development, there can be like extensive logging and storing passwords and things out of the blue. But if I change it to be in production, then all of this should be off. I also want to put this into the prompt that is reading all the time, so it knows this. So I would like a new table in the DB stating if I'm in development, sandbox testing, or in production. I also want you to give me a text to enter in the Bolt prompt, so you know to use this extra logging only during development. Does this sound like a good plan, both for future development and security for when going in production? Or do you have a better approach? Okay. Oh, stop. Go into plan mode. That was scary. Okay. So it seems like whatever we do, we need to have like a fallback safety net to make sure that Bolt doesn't hallucinate. That's what I'm getting out of this. Let's pause it. Let me think. All right, so there was a bit of an issue. The issue is that it wasn't going into plan mode. For some reason, I had plan. I stopped it, I started it, and it just went through it. And you can see it used about 1 million tokens. So that's crazy. And I didn't stop it. I just let it go because I waited too long anyway. So I just thought it's better to let it go. But let's see what's going on then. I want to check first because I know I could see it was doing something here. Yes. So we have a prompt debug. This project has secure debugging logging system for troubleshooting, authentication, and password verification issues. Great. So this means it can actually write straight to here to the prompt and things. So I guess you can ask it to do updates to this like prompt regularly. I think that's a very good idea. For the future, I think I will do that. I will keep it more clean, and you'll have everything here for it to check it. Let's see if there's a new thing for the database to handle this or not. No, it doesn't seem like. Does not look like. So is it this password? No, it's not. So where's the logging? It's not audit logging. That was before. Create secure logging. Debug logger. Library debug logger. Library debug logger. Library debug logger. What's it doing? Interface. Environmental config. Development, staging, production. Okay, I got 3 of them. But select environment. From where? App config. App config. Do we have an app config? Am I blind? I'm trying to read this. I'm trying to understand. It's doing in the console. Is that what it's doing only? Okay, I don't know. I'm not going to read it. This is supposed to be just vibe coding. So let's go back to basics. Yeah. Let's go here and let's click the sign up, but we go to sign in. We enter this. Console is empty. Did it say sign up here or login? So No, it says implement this plan. Really? It used 1 million tokens to plan? It says plan, but it's done it. Plan completed. Debug mode guide. That one we should read. Okay, so that's where we're going. Debug mode guide. Overview. This project includes a secure debugging system. Never enable debug password enabled if in production. Password debug logging records sensitive metadata about password operations, including password length, hash length, buffer size, verification result. While it doesn't log actual password, this information could aid attackers. Password debugging is allowed only in development environments, used with caution in staging, automatic disabled in production. Environment modes. The system supports 3 environment modes: development, staging, and production. How to enable debug. Step 1, set environment to development. You need admin access to change environment configuration. Use the Supabase SQL editor or an admin API endpoint. SQL set environment. From app config. Quick disable recommendation. Okay. Migration 23. Environment config and debug. But why am I not seeing app.config? Am I blind? Not here. Not here. Not here. No, wait. Create table if not exists. So it hasn't run this. Implement this plan. Am I going to use another million token now? I'm going to have to buy more tokens. Okay, at least it did that. Perfect. Everything's implemented and ready. Now let's apply the migration to your Bolt database. Okay, so it wasn't. Makes sense. So this hadn't run yet. So I guess we wait for it. This should be quick. Enable debug mode. Okay, so it's doing that for me too. Excuse me. Okay, what's it doing? Created the tables. Debug mode enabled. Development. Okay, so it's done all of it. So it can do all of these things. That's great. View password. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now it's doing things. What to do? Issue is, what to look for issue is database corruption or wrong data. When done debugging, disable mode. Okay. Go ahead and try logging in now. The debug log will tell us exactly what's going wrong. Okay. All right. So now let's see if we can do it. So we go here, we go to the sign in instead, and then we go here, and then we go some kind of random easy password. The debug logs will tell us exactly what's wrong. So I tried to log in and got the error. Can you tell me what was wrong, or do I need to do any more testing, like creating new users with specific passwords that you know about? No, specific passwords, that's enough. All right. Stop. Plan mode. I need to stop doing that. Okay, so let's see if it's plan mode. Yeah, now it's planning. Better. Okay, so we'll wait for the... Okay, I'll help you investigate the login error. Let me first examine the authentication setup and recent code to understand what might be causing the issue. I can see you have a custom authentication that's separate from both. Your middle... Really? It's this simple? So we need to add this to the... When you log in successfully via Auth custom sign-in, it sets custom cookies, but your middleware is looking for a Bolt database auth session that doesn't exist. So middleware thinks that you're not authenticated and blocks access to protect routes. So now I know what toast is. Toast is this little red warning I get here, the little pop-up text here. I guess that's the toast, right? Okay, so I will ask it to help me to do a prompt. Suggest a prompt for me to add in Bolt prompt. So you always know you should not use Bolt built-in auth at any time, but have a complete custom built auth system. It's in plan mode app, yeah. Okay, so I guess we need to specify things so it always knows it, because it's going back to doing this hallucination stuff. It's making up things. It thinks that the Bolt auth is better to use, but I don't really want to do that. Great idea. I really don't like what it's telling me when these great ideas. What is the actions is this supposed to? Is it planning or doing? It's in plan mode, but it's doing mode. How? You're seeing this, right? Created a Bolt directory. What? Huh? Great idea. Here's a comprehensive prompt you should have to. I apologize. I'm still in plan mode and cannot create files. However, I can give you the exact text. Yeah, that's what I wanted you to do. Custom authentication system important. Do not use Bolt database auth or Bolt auth. Okay, custom auth implementation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will say implement this plan, but do not remove information that already exists in Bolt prompt. Implement this plan, but do not remove information that already exists in Bolt/prompt. Okay, let's go. Let's go, and here we go. I have a big problem. I told it not to do it, right? Implement this plan, but do not remove information that already exists in Bolt.new prompt. It erased it and created a new one. And I don't have the text that it had before. So I have no tokens remaining, basically. And my issue now is, how do I... Let me close the door here. How do I do rollback without doing rollback? I don't want to do rollback. I just want to get access to this prompt that I had before. So I'm in plan mode, and I guess my son wants to come in. Give me a second. All right, it's okay. What do you mean created it? Oh, it did exist. I'm so unhappy. So what exactly did it do? What I've done, I created this custom auth system documentation. No. Key component listed all API routes, utilities, config database table. But it's all in here, right? Password security specific. Yes. Debug mode instructions, how to enable, disable troubleshooting. Wait. So it has all the information, it has just... So it kept the information in the prompt, but it changed the text. Here, now we have the app config. Development, true, true. All right, yes. Try logging in again with the test user I created. Okay, we can do that. If login still fails, check out the debug logs. From debug logs. Debug logs. Category tests, level info test, manual testing. Test equal true. What? Okay, let's clear the console. Let's clear the console. Let's do this. Let's do this. This really, I mean, doing this manually It's probably easier than having, I don't understand why it's doing these hallucinations. What is it doing? Database connected. There's now 2 profiles. So it created this profile, right? Follower. This one shouldn't be follower. This one should be admin. Let's just save that. Yeah? Oh my God. Right, that should not be there. We should check the web profiles. Is active, is true. Verified. Should we not have it verified in here? It changed this. It keeps doing big changes to the database. That's why it's eating up the tokens, I think. Because now it's only is active. Before we had, I'm sure we had it verified on the profiles. No, on the users, not the profiles. Where's the users? Yeah, here's the users. Okay, never mind. Yeah, here it is. Test user, test user. Email verified. No, okay. But it set it to true for us. It just ignored when it was verified. No failed in login attempts. Clear this, sign in, submitting login review. So we have the login attempts. Still only one debug log. Test info, manual test log, test metadata test true log, create that. This is strange. I tried to log in with the user you created, but there is no logs about it at all in the database. This should be a quite simple procedure to log in, to create an account, hash the password, and be able to log in. With the email and password created. For now, I'm bypassing the email verification manually by changing the email verification to true. do not look at the email part at this time, only the database part. Plan mode, yes, go. Okay, so this is going to be a long video as well, I guess. This is stopping the hallucination, right? So my tokens are out, so I'm going to have to see, do I upgrade to Pro? We can check this at the moment. Okay, so at the moment I do have Pro. I have this Pro. 25 per month, 10 million tokens. Do I upgrade it? I think I'm going to have to. This is better than buying a one-off, right? If I'm buying a one-off, I get 10 million for how much? How do I go to the one-off? That's better price though. 450 per month. That's 500 paid up front. No thanks. Where do I see it? Okay, let's keep to the focus. We might have to update it in a second. That's fine. It's only money, right? So database state verification. Check if the user table exists and has the correct scheme. Verify the app. It's trying to do so much. Confirm the log table exists. It does exist already. Trace the sign-in flow from API route to password verification. Check if the email lookup query is finding the user. I guess we're just going to go ahead and implement this. I will look for the upgrade of the plan, I guess, in the meantime. So let's just implement this and see you in a minute. I'm back, and as you can see, I now have 16 million tokens. It said I ran out of tokens. So yes, I have upgraded it, and I was paying for a yearly plan, so I was forced to continue with a yearly plan. And what happened here? Why have I not seen this before? That's strange. Let's move me correctly. Yes, so zero visibility on the logs. Okay, so that's updated. Anonymous user can read. Only admins can update the configuration. Okay. current state, database tables, blah, blah, test user exists with valid 128 character password hash. Fixed anonymous user can't read app config. Okay, that's good. Read. Can now read. Should be able to write to it. Okay. We will do as it say. We will try. So we go here, and then we go here, and then we clear the console, and then we add this, and then we add a password was what? Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you think I remember this? It was with a capital T. Okay. Still getting this internal error. Let's see the logs. 10 rows. Ooh, something's happening here. Sign in attempt started. Is this me? I guess it is me. How can I see all of this? Starting pass verification, successfully decoded the hash, extracted salt and hash on the buffer, generate hash from input password. It still failed the login, but we now have logs to check. Can you give me a plan and explanation to what went, what is wrong? Okay. So sign in error occurred in the debug. Generate a token. So it made a token. Everything went well for a very long time. There's a tiny thing in the end that seems to be the problem. I can see the debug logs from your login attempt. Let me analyze what happened and create a plan to fix the issue. From the logs, I can see sign attempt started, user retrieving from database, password verification went through, all steps successfully decoded, hash, extracted, salt generated, hash verification complete, password verification successful. Aha! Start to generated token. The sign-in occurred with an error about headers. The password verification is working correctly. The issue is the token generator or response handling phase. Let me examine the sign-in API routes to identify it. So maybe I led AI down the wrong route because I told it it's a hash issue, but it's not. Let me check if there's a middleware or NXES configuration that might cause the headers issue. Based on my analysis, the code and debug logs, I can now identify the issue and create a plan to fix it. Okay. The debug logs show that password verification is successful, but the sign-in fails with an error about headers. Error message invalid headers expects. It's a next.js 13 plus error that occurs when you try to use dynamic functions in the wrong context. The actual problem lies perform database insert session activity logs profile updates after creating this. This violates Next.js app router rules where you cannot access request properties after starting to build a response. The issue is the code order. The response is created too early before all the necessary operations are complete. Add better error logging. Okay, so let's implement this plan, I guess, and pray to God that it works this time. I'm back and I managed to go to the toilet as well. So let's see, it had a plan. Perfect. The build completed successfully with only warnings, which are normal for Bolt database dependencies. Okay. I fixed the login failure by recording the code in the custom sign root. This is blah blah blah. Move header extraction. Okay, whatever. So let's see if we can sign in. 200,000 tokens used. Sign up. Sign in. What was it? No, I have nothing left. I can't even remember the email. Yeah, here we go. Please work now. Still a problem. What? Object. Ah, what? Ah, I was thinking I could read it. Okay, so plan. I tried logging in again with the tests at example.com that you created, but something is still wrong with the headers. I presume from the input from the database. And we're adding this one. What do you suggest to do to fix this properly? I want a solid solution that will always work. I'm sorry that Whisper is out. Maybe I should start paying for Whisper. I'm not paying for it. I think I might have to. So while this is thinking and planning, I will go and have a look at how much Whisper costs. I'm saving all of this cost, by the way, and I will start doing some consultancy on the side as a business, because then there is no VAT. And then I can use this to clear it up, because I don't want to pay with a normal salary. even though it's a good salary, doesn't make sense. Because this is something we're supposed to be making money from, right? That's the plan. That's what we do. That's what I'm going to help you to do as well, if you want to. But at the moment, I wouldn't say that vibe coding is really mature enough. It's getting there. It's getting there. Give it 6 months. I know that Google has released a new one. Maybe that one would work at the moment. I don't know. But I'm watching so many videos about this. So, okay, so it's actually done. So we don't have to do it. But yeah, I'm watching videos about all different AIs. I decided to go with Bolt.new. I'm not sure if that was a good choice or a bad choice. Lovable is another one. The choices you make. It's only money, right? I'm happy I can say that. I know it's not that easy. Based on my analysis of the error invalid headers, expects to have requests async storage and the authentication system. I can now provide you with a comprehensive plan to fix this issue permanently. So this async. That occurs because the custom sign-in route is using Next.js 13 plus server components incorrectly. The headers function from... Why is it using it incorrectly? Use best practices. Should this be in the prompt too? Always use best practices. Async logging in synchronous route handlers. The log out debug and log password debug functions are async and called with await, but they try to access Bolt database configuration during the request handling. Database password hash column. Mixed authentication context. Middleware still uses Bolt database Auth instead of custom. But it's been through this before. Now it's hallucinating again. This is the importance of reading stuff. Fix async logger to remove headers dependency. To remove all Bolt database client instantiation from logging functions. Create a synchronous queue system that batches debug logs and writes them asynchronously outside request context. Sounds good. Add environment variables fallback for debug mode. Check node env directly instead of querying database during requests. Okay. Update log authentication debug and log password debug to use the queue system. Keep configuration checks separate from the actual login code. Keep configuration checks. Update the database scheme for password hash. Create new migration to enforce password hash column length constraints. Add check constraint password hash text not null check length password hash equals 128. Add database function to validate password hash format on insert update. Create trigger to auto-validate password format before saving. Add index on password hash length for validation performance. Replace middleware with custom, but it was a... Remove all Bolt database auth calls from yes. I'm not getting this. Why? It shouldn't be doing this. Add proper role-based access control using JVT payload. It's already supposed to have done this. Remove all await log auth debug calls during critical request path. Move logging to background using queue system. Next public debug mode environment variable. Add debug password hashing environment variable. Development only. Create runtime config. Check. That doesn't require database access. Add console logging fallback when database logging fails. Great. Document debugging mode activation in development. Add password hash validation utilities. Update all authentication API routes. Add migration repair script. Oh, this seems overdue. I can just delete and okay. Let's just try and go for it. We'll see what happens. What can go wrong? Spending money and time. And again, we're back. The build completed successfully with only minor warnings that don't affect functionality. Okay. What has it done? The authentication system now works reliably without the headers context error. You can now log in with the testexample.com without encountering an error. Are you sure about that? It's very brave, you know, without errors. Test, was it test? Test 1, 2, 3, 4, capital T. That's a bad password, I know. Oh. No! Mm-hmm. So what's going on this time? Attempt started. Retrieve user from database, varying password. Password verification successful. Sign in error occurred. Headers. This is now, right? Time zone is different. Yeah, it's 1 hour off. Okay, so that's time zone. You, my friend, are incorrect. The login still does not work and error points to header in the log file, if I'm not mistaken. Plan mode, go. This is really, really frustrating, I must say. I think it should only look at the header related. I mean, it's checking things for hash and stuff, but the password is passing, right? So the hashes and everything is working. It's just using. This makes me go back to the old Windows days, like thinking of Bill Gates when he's adding all the errors in the system by purpose, and then, well, you have to pay an update, and then you update, and then you're adding new errors on purpose. I was even considering doing this in codes I was doing, because if you just made it good, which was possible, you couldn't sell any upgrades. So I even made some program that I sold to the armed forces when I was younger, and we considered adding bugs in there so they could just upgrade and then add new bugs that are not real bugs but just annoying to the user. But we didn't do it. We made it perfect. So what happened? Well, they bought the service for 1 year, and after that they didn't want it anymore because there's no issue. It just works. So, well, based on my investigation, I've identified the root cause of the login failure. The issue is API Auth custom sign-in root. That is, file where cookies are being set on a next response JSON object. There is a known issue where modifying response headers, including cookies, after creating response object can cause header-related errors, particularly with the headers already sent error pattern. Create the next response object and then attempt to set cookie on it. This pattern can cause timing issues where the response headers are already committed before the cookies are set. Fix response cookie setting pattern. Modify the sign-in route to set cookies before creating the JSON response. Update sign-out route for consistency. Apply the same pattern to fix sign-out routes. Verify cookie configuration. Test authentication flow. Questions for clarification. Are you seeing a specific error message in the browser console or network tab that mention headers? This would confirm the diagnosis. Maybe. How do I see this? Reset. Custom sign-in 500. When the login fails, do you see any cookies being set in the browser's application storage tab? Application, storage, cookies, Bolt.new. Can I clear the cookie somehow? So many tokens. My God, what's going on here? Stack blitz. Do you see any cookies being set in the browser application storage tab, or are no cookies being set at all? I don't like this plan. It's too mumbo jumbo, I think. Session cookie. But I don't know if that's the one. Cookie consent. Session ID, session SS, SID. I mean, this looks like a complete mess here. Or is this the one? The fix involves restructuring how cookies are set in the authentication response to avoid the Next.js header timing issue. Okay, look at this issue from a new perspective, i.e., what is best practice? Practice? I'm not sure if this is even correct spelled, but it doesn't matter. Check what is best practice in regard to next.js and authentication procedures. And give me a new suggestion on how to best handle this. You are a pro at creating best practice of with next.js and will guide for best solutions and implementation. Take the time you need. This needs to be correct at the first attempt. Okay, while this is going, this time I will check Whisper and see how much it costs and see if I can just upgrade this as well. So hang in there. I'm back and I spent more money. I'm paying for monthly subscription, $15, but you actually have the link to Whisper in the description. So feel free to use it. It should also be on this webpage to use. So anything that can give you some help, will give me some help, is going to be available. So let's see, what is it saying us to do? Wow, this is long text, yeah? Okay, here. I'll conduct a thorough analysis of the authentication system from Next.js best practices perspective, examining the current implementation and identifying the optimal solution. Now let me examine what the actual architectural issues are and look at the broader patterns. Perfect. Now I have a complete picture. Let me analyze the deeper architectural issues and provide you with a comprehensive best practice solution. After thorough analysis of your authentication system and Next.js best practices, I identified critical architectural issues that are causing the login failure. this isn't just about fixing a header error. Your entire authentication flow has fundamental problems that violate Next.js app router patterns. I thought so. Why did it do it in the first place? I didn't do it. Okay. Dual cookie dual cookie system causing conflict. Client also manually set cookies via document cookie. This creates a race condition where client-side cookies may overwrite server HTTP-only cookies. Okay. Breaking the HTTP-only secure model. Your returning token in JSON response body lines on a custom sign. Client receives tokens and manually sets them as cookies. This means tokens are exposed to JavaScript. What? That's not good. Incorrect session validation pattern. Client side reads session tokens. Missing cookies, API usage. Okay, so recommended implementation plan, change, blah, blah, blah. Remove tokens from, Use proper cookie setting patterns. Okay, key changed. This sounds like a plan. How long has the sound been out? I'm so sorry. If you haven't had sound and I haven't been talking, I've been talking to myself. I'm really sorry. I guess in this case, I'm going to have to go back and look at this video. 120. Okay, I know how to do it. Working now? Okay. So I also want you to add in .bolt/prompt. Information regarding what you have written here for yourself to make note every time you're trying to do this. It's important that you're a specialist in Next.js and always follow best practices. Uh, all right, let's go. We're eating tokens again, but we're making progress. Slowly, slowly. Let's see what happens. This is going to cost a lot. All right, we are back. And change the password. Yeah. It's a crap one, I know. Yep, it created this one. Best practice critical reference guide. Mandatory reading. Every time you work with authentication in Next.js, refer to this document. Core principles, server-side session management. Okay. TypeScript, wrong. Client-side cookie manipulation. Okay, correct. Server-side. Why this matters. TypeScript, wrong. Correct. Tokens only in cookies. TypeScript, wrong. Okay. I mean, it seems this is how you fix it when it's hallucinating. You should avoid hallucination by adding these kind of things, I guess. But let's see if it works now. That's the core thing. So, that didn't work. Actually, that's not good enough. We need to, can we zoom out? Oh, here we go. Now we can get the whole thing. We now got an error, unhandled runtime error. So the app doesn't work at all. Can you please have a look at this? Plan mode, go. It's so much easier to use Whisper. I don't know why I didn't pay for it straight away, but there you go. Let's see what happens, and we will be back shortly. And now it has something it wants to implement. So let's see what it says. Based on the error screenshot and code analysis, the application is experiencing a chunk loading error that prevents it from running. The root cause is a combination of server-side rendering issues with the language context using local storage and potentially missing build artifacts. Local storage? Add client-side check to prevent local storage access using SSR. Initialize language state with en default and only access local storage after amount. Add use client, okay. Verify, clear build artifacts and cache. this error start appearing after recent code change, or is this a fresh setup? Are you able to see any console logs or network errors? I mean, can we clear this? Clear? Clear? Maybe we don't fix anything. That's a bit strange. Test example, and it's test with capital T, 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. I know the password. You know what I'm thinking. Verifying password. Did I take the wrong password? Wasn't it test 1, 2, 3, 4? I'm just telling it to ignore it, refresh page, fix the error. I want to see what it replies to that. Okay, what I will do is I will try and sign up and create a new user. So this will be test2, test at test.com, test 1, 2, 3, 4, test 1, 2, 3, 4, sign up. Does this work? So email send failure. Okay, I can accept that. But are you created in the database? Customers. Oh, no, not customers. Users. Yes. Okay, so sign in. No, I can't do that. It will say, we can test it just to see what happens, okay? Inval. That's not right, according to me. Yeah, this needs to be true, right? Yeah, just like that. And see? And then sign in. I'm still getting an error when trying to log in. The Toad is giving error, invalid email or password and then in brackets pass. I will paste the console for you here as well. I thought we fixed all of these issues. Please analyze this properly and give me a solution that works. Plan mode, please. Planning, okay. Not good, not good. We spent over 10 million tokens. Is it 15 million now or something? On just this issue with the login and authentication, which is ridiculous because it's supposed to be a simple thing. All right, see you in a sec. We are back, and even though I stopped and pressed plan, it seems like it actually did it anyway and just went through to do it. It moved the saying the header was in the wrong order. I was trying to follow what it was saying. It's a bit strange it didn't fix it by itself, but then again, who knows? Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Logging. You've been signed in successfully. Okay, so now we are actually signed in, but we are stuck in a loop here. But we do know that we changed a lot of things here before with the redirects and things. So what happens if we go here? Go back. Am I logged in or not? I'm logged in as test 2 and I can log out. Okay. Could I go to dashboard somehow? What was this called? Not admin. Follower. Follower dashboard. Follower dashboard. We can try that maybe. No. I'm not sure if that was correct anyway, so. No? And go back. So test 2. So I log out. Log in as me. You have been signed in successfully. I will be logged in, which is correct. Oh, I can go to the dashboard here. No. No, let's go here. Let's do this so we can see it. So we have a partial success. We are now getting logged in, and we get the success. You have been signed in successfully in the Toad. However, it stays on the login page with loading the button for sign in is just loading. If I refresh the page and go back to the start, the home page, I am logged in. And in the drop down, I can see the dashboard. So what I need to do is to fix this. So I will be redirected to the dashboard. Depending on what my rights are, if I'm an admin, a follower, or a customer, or a customer and follower, I should go to the correct dashboard. Plan mode. Okay, so plan mode first. All right, so we have huge success. It's 1:36 in the recording, and it's about 4 hours of work for me, with some pauses and getting coffee and going to the toilet and talking to my son and saying bye to my wife that's going working, all of these things. But yeah, this is great success. We have finally fixed the login and authentication, and I think it's following best practices as well, which means it's secure, which is great. So now, very soon, I will just see if this redirect works. If it does, I will finish the video here. I will say this is done. And then we will do another video with the next steps. I think that's the goal for it. So I just want to make sure that the login works and the redirects are correct, and then we're done. So very close. And it has done the planning done. Let's see. Great, login is working now. The issue is that the login form component isn't redirecting after successfully logging. Let me check the login, blah, blah, blah. The login form looks correct. It does have the redirect logic at line. The issue is that it is stuck in the loading state. Let me check what the custom auth context sign-in function. The code looks correct. The issue might be that the toast is showing, but the redirect is happening on the loading state. No. I would like to add some information to this. If I refresh and I can see that I'm logged in my drop-down, I have the dashboard. But if I click the dashboard, I'm not going to the dashboard. I'm actually going back to the sign-in page again. So there might be something more to this than that you first looked at. Please look carefully and be very critical of what you're telling me. I don't want you to guess. I want you to know. Good prompt, I think. Good prompt. So I will go and refill my coffee while this thinks. Yeah, it's checking the flow. So it's always good to give it more information. But yeah, see you in a second after I got my coffee and this has been done thinking. All right, and I'm back. Went for some coffee as well. Tokens are generated and sessions are available. The issue is a race condition. Race condition? Where the client-side redirect happened before the browser has fully committed to the HTTP-only cookies as reserved. A, add a delay and use window location href for a full page reload. No. Validate the session via fetch before redirecting conferencing. Both, most robust. This is a common issue with HTTP-only cookies and client-side routing in XG. The fix is straightforward once identified. So what do I want to do? I really don't like the window location href. Add a delay and use. Validate the session via fetch before redirecting. I will say go with option B. Go with option B. No. Let's do this smart. Is option A really best practice? It seems wrong to me. You're absolutely right to question that. Using WinRAR for navigation in an is not best practice. It defeats the purpose of client-side routing and causes a full page reload, losing all the benefits of single-page application. Exactly. Let me investigate a good cookie name match, both using session tokens. Now let me check what's actually happening during the login flow. Let me look at the actual issue more carefully by checking if there is something preventing the cookies from being sent on subsequent requests. Now let me think about this systematically. The real issue is after login success, the login form tries to redirect with router push, but it stays on the login page in loading state. After manually refresh, the user is logged in and can see dashboard link, but clicking the dashboard link redirects back to the login. This tells me cookies are being set. Refresh proves this. The router.push after login is not working. Client dashboard link triggers middleware, which redirects to login. Clicking dashboard link triggers middleware, which redirects to login. Wait, let me reread the middleware more carefully. What is this middleware, and do we actually need it? This is the problem. The middleware is checking for exact role matches. If your user has role admin and you try to access follower dashboard, it will redirect you away because role is not follower. It's not true. Okay, similar. If you're a customer, you can. But looking at line 34 to 35, when you're on the login page with a valid session, it tries to redirect you based on your role. So if you're admin and try to stay on Auth login, it will redirect you to admin dashboard. The real issue, the login form get dashboard root function is trying to send users to their role-specific dashboard, but with the JWT token has a different role than expected, or if there's a role mismatch, the middleware blocks access. A question before you go ahead. What is the point of the middleware? Is this some legacy from some old Bolt authentication, or is it actually needed? Let's see what it was saying before. Summary. The actual problem is not about cookies or timing cookies or timing. Cookies are working fine. The issues are navigation conflict, client-side router push conflicts with middleware auto redirect. Overly strict role checking. Middleware blocks users from loading state, never gets reset because navigation is blocked, conflicted. The solution is to simplify the navigation, let middleware handle it, and fix the role checking logic to be more permanent. Okay. Short answer, no. The middleware is completely redundant and is causing your problems. Why is it redundant? Why did it create a middleware then? Server-side protection isn't needed because all pages are client rendered. Exactly. Recommended plan. Remove middleware entirely. Yes! Oh, it's been causing so much stuff in my head. I haven't understood why it was even there in the first place. Summary. The middleware is legacy code that shouldn't be there. It's redundant, duplicates layout checks, harmful, causes navigation conflicts, and unnecessary client-side protection is sufficient. Removing it will immediately fix your login redirect issue because it eliminates. Implement this plan, for God's sake. So we're looking at Bolt 1.0 versus 2.0. And what I'm seeing is it's an improvement for sure. So before it couldn't find and fix this. And it was doing hallucinations because it do something and then it fix it, but it doesn't fix it properly and it leaving rests there. Now, with, I'm sad to say, some knowledge and understanding, I can figure out what is wrong and try and fix it. So, looking back, I'm starting to think it might be better to try and one-shot these things. So you're making a code and you need to make sure that you have the whole process ahead of you, which means I think Bolt.new should add some scripts in here. So it's asking questions, a lot of questions before you even get to the coding stage, like how you want it to build, how do you want things to function, how do you want it to be connected, and then set the framework with best practices that's set up within this, and then stick to it. Because now Claude is guessing, right? So it's doing something it thinks is great. It's not really what I wanted to do, but I didn't really tell it what to do because I didn't know I had to tell it already. At least now it can try and fix these things. We're getting closer. We're getting closer, that's for sure. But we're not there yet. So I'm using all my tokens. I will be done with the tokens. I will do like 20 million tokens. 40 million tokens in 2 days. I had 20 from before. Wait. Oh yeah, it's only added me 16 more. Or 26 more. I came to the dashboard. Damn. Okay, I'm not doing anything else now. This is going to be a success. Let's go back to somewhere. Okay. Yes. I will showcase what's going on here in the next video. The middleware was the crook in everything. I will stop here. Very thankful for that it worked. I'm sorry for the almost 2-hour long video. Again, super long. But this is a great success. We've gone really far, and maybe we can actually go to production with things with Bolt 2.0. It was not possible with Bolt 1.0, for sure. It was not possible at all. But let me go through and see all of these things. We also need to work on the email that's not working. It's going to be a separate video just for the email, I think. But yes, fantastic. Fantastic. Tell me what you think. Comments. Did I do something wrong from the beginning? Do you think I'm a noob? Are you learning something? Do you want to know something? You want me to try and test something or something? Whatever. Let me know. And please like, subscribe, follow, and join this webpage and see how it works for yourself. Thank you.